What's going on, everybody? This is the Enters the Lab podcast presented by Red Zone DC Media. Look, big news already dropped yesterday. It is this time, this channel, our group, we're going to be breaking down the schedule for each three teams and other big matchups that we saw yesterday. We're going to include many big matchups, such from the Texans, Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, your Washington Commanders, Atlanta Falcons, Detroit Lions, and much more on this channel. We're also going to get a look at some least favorable matchups and some daunting tasks for some teams on this schedule that got released yesterday. This is your boy DT. This is time to enters the lab.
My fault. What happened? I'll eat his Popeye.
This man says eating some Popeyes. Commercial.
Ready for a break.
Save this clip.
Wipe your hands. Wipe your hands. And
Commercial.
We over here about to die of thirst over here.
Thing on the menu today, bro, and that's work. That's work for 60 minutes, bro. That's the only job we got to do today, bro. What you playing for? What you playing for? What you playing for? What y'all?
Get real lonely with the mic on, bro. I want to talk to my friends.
Welcome back to Enters the Lab podcast presented by Red Zone DC Media. That's right. I am back. I forgot to add that in the intro. I am back after my trip. I feel refreshed. I feel rejoiced, and I get to see my Enter the Lab podcast family once again. So, Lady E, C-Head, how y'all been?
What up, though, DT? What up, Lady E?
Why I'm over here pulling at you? We ain't been gone that dang long, and I'm pulling at you. What's up, y'all?
It was long for me, I tell you that.
Did you get some rest and relaxation?
Oh, most definitely, bro. I had probably the best time of my life. Hey, advice for everybody: life's short. You take that break. Don't work yourself to death.
Take that break.
Take that break, man. But yeah. So good to see you guys back, and also we had some news. I see Henry already changed his profile in the background, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So yesterday was the 2024 NFL schedule release, and all teams had their matchups. We already knew about the opponents, but now we know when, what time, what channel, and what week we're going to be watching some of these key games. So I'm going to start with you, C. Henry. What were your initial thoughts on the schedule released yesterday?
Man. Hey, man, listen, man. We inching closer and closer to the season. We still got some months, man, but I'm trying to temper my expectations for the season, man. It was really more confirmation, man, that the league sees the Lions as a serious contender. I mean, the first place schedule, based off what we did last year, 5 prime time games, and then you look at the Thanksgiving game, that's 6 games. I believe we have either 3 to 4 games that are going to be in that 4 o'clock nationally televised slot. So, I mean, what I'm saying? I guess we graduated, man, to the, to the big time. Now we got to back it up. You know what I'm saying? We got to back it up. But I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Lady E, how do you feel about the big matchups you seen yesterday?
Are we talking about my team, or are we just talking about in general?
Just overall. We're going to get to it.
I'm just gonna sit over here and say, I know a lot of people were arguing on the TL about people who have the strongest strength of schedule and looking at their the Falcons are supposed to have the easiest schedule there is, and different things like that. I know people are arguing, but as I kind of gazed, they kind of slapped the AFC in the face and said, yeah, we're going to make y'all sit over here and earn these playoff spots. We're not going to do it, because a lot of people got some back half brutal schedules. I think yesterday when we was in our space, yesterday there was saying that the Bears and the Steelers are the two teams that has to play, that have literally six, I think like last 6 of 7 games that they have to play against their division rivals in a sense of back-to-back. There are only 2 teams. So I'm not gonna lie to you. If you need, like, they can mess up somebody's playoff hope, but they can also mess up their own chances with their own playoff hope. So yeah, we're in for a very, very, very interesting season, and I'm excited.
Yeah, most definitely, especially around this time of the year. Once after the draft, and you see some of the off-season programs already kicking off with some of the rookies and the veterans. The schedule release is always everybody's favorite because now you get to see some of the opponents you already knew you were going to be facing. But like you get to see what week, what time zone, and you try to get your ticket as fast as you can. Seen a lot of my fans already trying to get some of these tickets automatically. Definitely excited around this time. But I think the one thing I will say, though, in terms of just the scheduled release show, is it kind of in the sense there's really no point of having like a show if, you know what I'm saying, we're just going to get leaks all day pretty much for the entirety of the day about your team. So I think that's the one thing that kind of like, it doesn't throw it off of me as much, but it's like, you know, what's the point of having a whole show if you're going to hear every day, I mean, the entirety of the day from, you know, your beat reporters, such as, you know, our teams, like they say, oh, we're playing the Lions this week, or we're playing the Cowboys in week 17. That kind of takes away from the joy from actually being surprised at who you're playing that week.
You know what? It's funny you say that, and I want to go back to what Lady E said in a minute about Chicago. I'm going to put an asterisk about that. Make sure we circle back about Chicago because I got some points about them. But to your point, though, I think that the NFL, the marketing, I mean, it's the season is a monster. You know what I mean? They have the show. I think it's twofold. It's to inform the fans. It's to get us really, you know what I'm saying, excited. But also, man, you know, they in the business of making money. And they know that marketers are going to want to buy spots during that time and during that show because all those eyes are going to be on that show. So they give us just enough information during the day. Because I don't know about you, DT, or your squads, Lady E, but we got about 4 or 5 of our games. I'm sorry, since we found out about 4 or 5 of our games early. But that was pretty much it. There still were a lot of holes in our schedule, so we still had to kind of tune in to see kind of.
Yeah, we only had 3.
You know what I mean?
We only had 3.
They leaked information a little bit to keep it to a 3-hour show instead of a 5-hour show. But they trying to make money and they trying to get us excited. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? We were all online waiting for the next leak.
Well, I'm gonna say, because I told a lot of people, because a lot of folks were already hitting me up like, hey, what game are you going? We got these games that we're going to. So I know a lot of people were already hitting me up. I mean, they got 3 of our games correct. I mean, I know they switched the weeks with the Kansas City Chiefs. We were supposed to play them week 2. We ended up playing them week 3. So, I mean, our schedule really fully didn't get released. They only gave us like the first 3 games, to be perfectly honest with you. I know the Chiefs had their whole entire schedule basically in a sense of minus like 2 teams released. I know I seen the Lions with theirs. I think I seen the Washington Commanders, but I think I only seen like a couple of y'all games. But I know for a fact that they were talking about the Lions. I know they had the whole Kansas City Chiefs. I think I want to say I seen the 49ers too. So it just depends on what it is. Me personally, I don't like the leaks. I really don't, because it first of all, it messes with the suspense. But then, like DT said, if you're gonna have a 3-hour show on this when half of the teams already know who they're playing, you're just losing the audience at that point. Like, I get it. The leaks are good for people who don't want to watch the show. But if there are some people who are like real into that and love watching that every year, you kind of mess it up for them. You know what I mean? You don't make it as a suspense, as a surprise anymore. You know what I mean? And shout out to some of the teams. I know I'm just going to mess with the algorithm, but Belt to Booty. The Chargers, I seen what y'all did in that Sims clip. That was very nasty work that you did. You had the sweet Lulu wings on the wall. I sees you. But I'm just gonna say this to all my Charger fans out there. If there's any Charger fans watching, y'all put that Georgia logo on there. Tell me when the last time Harbaugh beat Georgia. That's on that one. Now, number 2.
Wait a minute. Now, hold on. Now, what we got? Wait.
Y'all took a shot.
I feel like a stray was just. Let me done. I feel stray. Let me get my little Kim on. I feel strange.
But the Cowboys kind of shocked me with theirs. I kind of like the little FaceTiming and not saying anything because they put Michael Vick in there. So shout out to Vick. I like the Cowboys with their release video. Commanders. I don't know what your social media team was doing with Vines. I don't know who came out with it first. The Jaguars. I know the Jaguars released something else, but they had y'all with a Vines almost in a sense of using that for each team, which was like, what we doing?
Oh, I didn't even know. I'm just now hearing about that.
Yeah. And then I seen the Eagles and I clicked off by 2 minutes because I was so boring. So, check out the Falcons, though. We use Street Team. So we did ours, but, the Chargers kind of, in my opinion, takes it again this year with the whole Sims. I think it was, who was it? The Cardinals with the Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
I think it was them with the Pop-Tarts, and they called the Raiders pure garbage. Epic. Love it. Frosted pure garbage. Love it. So I like these releases. That's something that I do wish that we can keep, though, is those releases because they're very funny. They're really very funny.
I'm gonna need us to do a little better job because I was not impressed with what we did, and we just need to get better in that regard. But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? We can't win them all, baby. That's all right. Maybe next time.
Look, some people's social media teams need to get fired at this point. Like,
I ain't gonna do that to them. I ain't gonna do that to them. But
y'all gotta go find some more creatives because there's a lot of. Even the Browns. I seen the Browns, and the Browns was not even all that entertaining. They could have did so much better with the whole bowling alley type thing. They could have done so much better with that. Yeah. I digress, though. The only reason why I said that because Mike had put there what schedule reveal did you all like the most? And,
okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. What up, though, Mike? Pat, we coming. I don't know. I don't know if we going to Nashville or they coming here, but you know what I'm saying. We're gonna have to do that AFC South like we did that NFC South last year. Remember that was going on? Yeah. Teams of the North and the South.
I did see the Jaguars did have like the X-Men 97 theme.
Yeah, they came out with 2 of them. They had like a Vines one before the official schedule came out. Then I didn't get a chance to see the new one that they put out after the schedule came out, but they had 2 of them.
Okay, that's dope. So speaking of media, there's also some news in terms of the streaming world as we've seen that Netflix will now be in with the NFL as they'll now host 2 NFL games, which will appear on Christmas Day. So how do y'all feel about now Netflix broadcasting football games? And what are y'all thoughts about how the NFL has just grown monstrously with all the streaming services? And we went from the old days of watching games on cable to now multiple streaming platforms and still costing almost just as much as cable.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm literally just gonna say this, and Mike, I literally had that Big Timers song, "Everything in My Mama's Name." Yeah. But no, I'm gonna say this. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen to have a monopoly. We've seen what Bally's has done to a lot of the markets without having cable. Out here in Atlanta, we can't watch the Hawks or Braves because it's all on Bally's. The only one we can watch is Georgia and the Falcons and maybe the Atlanta Dream if it comes on regular like the regular channels. But you kind of saw this coming with the monopoly that Bally's had made, and now that they're filing bankruptcy, this is now time for the NFL. Like I feel that the NBA is going to start making their way towards this to start having people be able to view the games, because you do have people that have completely moved away from cable. They don't even have YouTube TV. Majority of their stuff that they're watching is on streaming. I know last year when they had like the Peacock, a lot of people were mad about the Peacock because they didn't have it. But I'm like, hey, y'all got to get on these other small little channels. And now we're seeing that a lot of these companies are now trying to bring a lot of those channels together and make them all into a bundling package now to have people do it. And I know people are saying it's better than cable, but I'm gonna say right now, if cable is still almost $300 for 10 channels, and I'm exaggerating, then you're really still kind of saving. Because I mean, me on one hand, I got Verizon, so I have Netflix, HBO Max, Hulu. I got Peacock through Xfinity only because I got the internet.
You got that Hulu? I need to use that Hulu password. I'm trying to see that Freaknik documentary.
I mean, you trying to see the Freaknik? Lord Jesus. I got two of them, but yeah. So, but you know, I got all of that, and you know, that's me paying it through my cell phone. So I'm paying for cell service, but I'm only paying $10 extra just to add those on there. So I know T-Mobile has Netflix on us. So if y'all got T-Mobile, y'all got 2 lines, you better go put that Netflix on us. It's free. You're only gonna be able to watch it on one channel, on one TV. Though I'm gonna tell y'all right now, so TV. But you got it. You see what I'm saying? So this was bound to happen. They weren't going to let us continue to have all this freeness of streaming, you know, even with YouTube TV taking that deal and getting the NFL Network for that Sunday ticket. It was bound to happen. I don't even see satellite dishes no more. I used to see satellite dishes left and right. Now you don't even see them no more, barely.
Nah, you don't.
Yeah, you know, streaming is the way of the future, you know what I'm saying, or way of now and the future, if you will. To your point, you know what I'm saying, I think there you can access basketball games, if I'm not mistaken, via HBO Max through Bleacher Report. Watch live games on Peacock, Amazon Prime. So I mean, it's definitely diversifying. I don't really have a problem with it being on a streaming service. There was somebody, I can't even believe who it was. Sorry, someone from NFL Network who was saying that, you know, this is going to allow a global audience to witness the games in real time with the actual U.S. broadcast. I guess games that previously have been played in those other markets, they would have their own kind of announcers, if you will, announcing the game. So I think that's a big thing. And, you know, the NFL is going to, you know, make as much money as possible. We're seeing these guys get 20, 30, 40, $50 million. So, you know, the revenue stream got to be, you know what I'm saying, increasing as well. And they're going out and saying, hey, man, listen, we'll put it on Amazon. We'll put it on Peacock. We'll put it on Netflix now. So it's just the way that it is. It is costly. You know, we so used to, you know, having things on network TV and know that is changing. But you know what? Guess what, man? Listen, to unplug from cable, like Lady E said, it can be cheaper if you go the route of streaming. But hey, man, let's support some of our other brethren, some of our hood brethren, some of our folks, you know what I'm saying, who got them fire sticks. Hey, fire stick sales is going
watch
up.
the algorithm. Watch the algorithm. Because I'm about to say, like, if y'all want to know how I can watch them,
support Pookie and them, support our cousins. Support our cousins who might not be, you know, so vocationally inclined, but they still hustle. Yeah. We support the hustle.
Look, see, Henry, look, I can tell y'all how I watch my NFL, my Hawks, my Braves. Just holla at me. I ain't going to do it on here, though. But holla at me.
Subscriptions is going up. Let's get it, baby.
You just don't know, man.
We blowing up like the WNBA. Let's get it.
Hey, shout out to the WNBA though. Like, especially I just got. They just announced that the Dream and the Fever are going to play both of their games when the Indiana Fever comes to Atlanta at State Farm Arena. So shout out to them for, you know, for the demand where they said, look, we gotta move this game because it's one of the bigger games and we gotta give them more space. So shout out to that. The WNBA is making waves and they're making moves. So I'm giving them ladies
money.
Exactly. MONEY, baby. Let these women get it, honey.
Man, I definitely agree with both of y'all points. This is the new wave. It was going to be sooner. I believe we heard last year there were talks about Netflix trying to acquire rights with the NFL, especially with that quarterback special they had on Netflix last year. That was definitely a sign.
Did he ever find somebody to do that, Peyton? Did he ever find anybody to do that? Because I think a lot of them turned it down.
I think they're going to turn it to wide receivers or something now. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, please go talk because the quarterback said no, they don't want to. I mean, go find some defensive players that don't mind. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Peyton shouldn't even try to get the stars. Let's go get some of these players that are up and coming. Let us know some about, some of these rookies that are coming in. Like, let us into their life. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know how they are adapting to the NFL. Some of the undrafted free agents, I want to know how they're adapting to the NFL. Like, let us into their life. I don't want to, like, don't get me wrong, I like the quarterbacks, but I want to see some other people on the team. I really do. I want to see some people and go, see how they do. You know what I mean? I want to see about my linemen. I want to see about the defensive linemen. Some of these rookies, some of these undrafted free agents. I want to see about that.
But do you think that would kind of duplicate what Hard Knocks is in a way? It's a little different, mixed with if you have different players. But do you think it'll kind of be that hard knocky feel?
Because you only, to me, with how they did it with the quarterbacks, they only picked a certain amount. I don't know why they picked Marcus Mariota, but they only pick a certain, certain quarterbacks. But
they went tiers. They went high tier, mid tier, and then low tier.
Yeah. Look, exactly, but I mean, you can do you can legitimately do the same thing with the people in the sport. You can go high tier, low tier, go find a top undrafted free agent. That was, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. Washington Commanders got one, Sam Hartman. I would love to see his little gorgeous hair floating through the wind on my TV. You gotta
be kidding me, bro.
I'm just saying.
That's the type of karma that'll start the Kirk Cousins curse again, man. They don't want to do that. They want Steve to be. I mean, whatever his name is, Sam, whatever his name is. They want him to be way in the background. They don't even want you to know he on the team. Way in the background. They don't want him getting no shine.
The obsession with backup quarterbacks is insane in DC, bro. I don't understand.
See, they still scared and scarred. SNS, scared and scarred.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, I just feel like when it comes down to it, if you're gonna start putting sports on like these HBO Maxes, these Netflix, these Primes, like let's get some shows about these people in these sports. You know what I mean? I mean, they do it all the time for the Olympics. You know what I mean? We hear about all these Olympic players that we probably won't ever see again. It's about 4 years later if they still are doing it. But we always get things about the Olympics. I know Netflix just came out and said that they're about to do Simone Biles. They finna go do some of the track stars, and then they finna do the men's Olympics basketball team. So I'm not understanding why, that's a good combination, because if you want people to buy, they want to see something about their sports on your streaming network, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I think doing undrafted players as well would be a great addition to seeing the life and perspective of NFL guys trying to make it and trying to grind, instead of just looking at some of the higher tier talents as well.
Yeah, but we already know what a Myles Garrett look like. Shoot, I want to see what person that they drafted that might make the team, might not make the team. I want to know that. Like, that's interesting. I like seeing them dudes fight. I'm rooting for y'all. Like, I really am. At least practice squad, dang it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good point. So, okay, so let's talk about our team schedules and initial thoughts. Was there anything that surprised y'all or how they set up the schedule for y'all? Was it like the bye weeks? Is it a stretch of games that's like, okay, this is definitely going to be a test? What are some things that, caught your eye when you watched your own team schedule? Let's start with you, Lady E.
Welcome to the A, baby. So we're off of punishment. I'm excited. I understand, like, we are still off of punishment. Thank you, NFL. But I think they did that on purpose because they know Kirk don't play well in prime time. So, but we're off of punishment. We got 4 primetime games. 4. I'm so excited. Because the first 2 were played in the beginning of the season. So a lot of people, a lot of fans literally said that we're kind of coming into the beginning of the season of a brutal schedule. But as I stated, before and earlier. Now, as I'm looking at it, I'd rather get these 3 tough teams because we really haven't had that much luck with the Steelers. But it's belt to booty because Arthur Smith, we are coming from you. Okay, you're gonna get booed once you come back. Okay, I'm just letting you know. You're gonna have a whole bunch of signs saying go back to FedEx and all of that. They are fin to get you when you come back. Okay, that's a 1 o'clock game, and then we have our first Monday night game in a minute against the Philadelphia Eagles. We're flying up there to Philly to go play them. The last time we played Philly was when Matt Ryan was with us, and that was a horrible game.
Wait, hold on. When was the last time y'all had a Monday night game? Y'all ain't had a Monday game in a while?
We've been on punishment.
Good gracious, man.
we've been on punishment.
Also, Mike said primetime Kirk is punishment as well, so I don't know you stuff.
I mean, look, I'm just gonna say this. The NFL said we're gonna give the Falcons another opportunity not to sit over here and do what Mariota did, which put us back on punishment. We always doing something to put us on punishment. So hopefully we don't get put back on punishment. So, and then after that, we got the biggest game that is coming to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the beginning of the year, to the point to where people have already bought their tickets for this game. Chief fans are coming. They're already hitting me up, talking about, hey, we need to know the spots. We need to know what's going on, what it is. So we got the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. Baby, we haven't had a Sunday night game since 2017. Okay, so you best believe the city finna come. We've been on punishment. I'm gonna tell you, but we've been on punishment. All right. So again, the city finna show up. Like I said, the first 3 games, it's pretty brutal because then after that, you know, we see the Saints. After that, and then we get back-to-back divisional games with Tampa Bay and then the Panthers. Again, I kind of like our schedule. I like the way our schedule set up because we cleared the Saints and the Buccaneers within the first 10 weeks. You know, the 10 games that we played. So by week 10, all we have to worry about is the Panthers as far as division goes. And yeah. I'm kind of excited. The back half looks good. We got a late bye, which is perfect for us. Because again, I'd rather play the Steelers, the Eagles, and the Chiefs at the beginning when I'm healthy, and then have to worry about that later on in the season playing them type of teams. So, I feel like they made our schedule just right. I'm just mad because I wanted to go see the Raiders, and they put the Raiders in December, and I'm not going to Vegas when it's cold. So there's that. But I might go to that Denver Broncos game because I said that I was going to Aspen for my birthday. So I might go around when we play them Broncos just so I can say I went to Mile High. So that's what we're going to do. But yeah, I'm pretty excited with my schedule. I know a couple of my fans saying we can legitimately be 11, 12 game win team. Okay. So it's high. It's high. Like I said, I still got question marks. I just got to see my team on the field, so holler back at me when training camp is.
DT giving you Sunday school teacher eyes.
Look, I said my fans.
What you say? I mean, I know it's very early, and maybe we're not doing this right now, but just off your initial look, because I like after those first 3 games, and really Pittsburgh is, you know, hey,
that could be a toss-up,
Kansas City,
yeah,
okay. After that, though, it's very promising. Dallas,
New Orleans,
that's pretty much the most challenging game on your schedule. After that, then you got these Commanders, and that's about it. In Tampa, Tampa. So in Seattle be a decent game, but I like you guys' chances. It's looking promising. Y'all might definitely looking like y'all might be in that playoff mix if everything go right.
If everything goes right, they answer my question marks. I'm not gonna lie. There's still some question marks on my defense that I'm trying to wait before I make any type of prediction because I want to know how they're going to address them. So that's why I said holler back at me when training camp starts. But I'm giving them that time just to see how everything kind of, you know, goes. Because we still got time to sign some people before training camp. Might sign somebody during training camp. Who knows? But yeah, like I said, our schedule is is very promising. I like it. You know, like I said, some of my fans are going off and betting money and betting they life savings and different things like that on our schedule. But yeah, just holler at me in training camp.
So I'll say this. I definitely don't think is not far-fetched that it's possible you couldn't win 12 games. I just look at the NFC South the past couple years is really only taking maybe 8 to 9 games to win it. And with the Bucks, really the Bucks have pretty much
the Bucks only won it last year with 9 games.
Yeah, and the Bucks have really just kept almost everybody they had from last year, with the exception of a few people, mainly Devin. What's the guy name? Linebacker Devin White. Traded Carlton to the Lions. So that's to me really the biggest threat in the South to y'all. Because I'm still don't understand what's going on with New Orleans and Carolina. They're trying to get their things on the road with Bryce Young.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, if anything, we could split with the Bucks because, like I said, we played them first on Thursday night, and then within 2 weeks after that, we go down there to Tampa to play them. So, and then after that, we clear them. So, hopefully, it's a sweep. But if we split, then what it is, what it is. But the thing we just don't want to be swept. That can come back because we have to hope they'll drop a couple of games just for us to be, considered to win the division. But I told people when we was in our space that I said, okay, look, as long as we win more than 7, I'm cool. 10, 11, I'm cool with. But people talking about 12 and 13, I'm like, look here, look here. I'm fine with around that 10, 11 mark. But again, I still got to see what my defense is looking like. I'm confident with my offense. As long as Kirk is coming back healthy, I'm good with that. But I'm still just a little bit concerned with what my defense is looking like in some areas. That's it.
Gotcha. See, Henry, the NFC runner-ups, their schedule has been released. One key matchup already that's caught my eye is Matthew Stafford heading back to Detroit once again. Talk about the schedule and some of the things you've seen so far.
Again, man, I guess we graduated, man. There's no more last place schedules for us. Everybody is a daunting task. I don't think there's any freebies. I look at teams like the Cardinals, even the Texans. Not the Texans, the Titans, the Colts, the Jaguars. Those are not going to be easy games. And then we play the NFC West. So we got Seattle, San Francisco. You mentioned the Rams. So it's going to be a tough battle, man. We got also Tampa Bay, as well as Dallas. So it's going to be a tough game, man. We can start off 4-0, or we can start off 1-3. So it can go either way, man. But I'm confident in it. Again, it's no game that I look at like we're not in this game. It's been a long time since I can say that. You know what I'm saying? I feel confident about every game, but just looking at it, a brutal stretch early. Rams, Buccaneers, Cardinals. People don't sleep on the Seahawks a little bit, but they've given us problems the last 3 years. They've beaten us. They've scored 58, I believe, 48 and 37 points against Aaron Glenn's defense. So I don't know if he got, if they have the answer or what. Good news is their offensive coordinator went to the Bears. So maybe there's going to be a little bit of a change there. But those 4 games, if we can start off 4-0 and get the momentum going, it'll be magical. Week 5 bye, I don't like, a little early for us. I would have loved to be more so in the middle of the season, 8, 9, 10. But week 5, we'll have a bye. Then after that, we'll have the Cowboys, the Vikings, the Titans. I think, that Cowboy game is going to be definitely a revenge game. I think we definitely got that after what happened last year. But if after that, we can get some momentum going, the Vikings, Titans. And then we have a nice stretch with the Packers, the Texans, and the Jaguars and the Colts. That's a tough 4-game stretch. 3 of them are on the road. We'll be on the road for the Packers. We'll be on the road for the Texans, as well as the Colts. So those 4 games, I think, is probably the toughest stretch on the schedule. And then, as you said, Lady E, there's a lot of divisional games. Those last few games, we played the Bears twice, the Packers and the Vikings in those last 5 or 6 weeks. With the
49ers in the middle.
49ers switched sandwiched in there in week 17. Looking forward to that one. Going back to the Bay. You know what I'm saying? Home away from home. We fumbled the bag last time. We hoping that don't happen this time though. So good schedule. Like I said, 5 games in prime time. Thanksgiving game. I think we have 4 or 5 games in the 4 o'clock slot. So all eyes on us, man. We got to make sure we're ready for the moment.
I got a question. How like, because I know some people don't like, but you're one of the teams that actually has a week 5 bye, and especially having a early bye after playing 4 games, and team getting momentum. Just like you said, you can easily go 4-0 in the first 4 games. Do you think that early bye can cause some issues? Particularly if there's really no injuries or anything like that, but y'all got that momentum, and then you go back and see the Cowboys, and especially with what happened last year on y'all mind. Like, how do you feel about that early bye?
I don't like it. I would definitely like it to be a little bit later, but with that being said, because we are coming back off the bye playing the Cowboys, I don't think it'll be a lack of motivation. I think because we're going to have that game circled, we're going to be really, really amped for that game. We'll go into that game very, 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 very much rested. It'll be an exciting game. But again, to your point, 4 games, unless we got guys kind of, with a little nagging injury early, that's a little early. The wear and tear don't really start to really hit them until, 7, 8, 9. You know what I'm saying? But I have some hope. I think I heard in the Commanders, they're a little upset about the week 14 bye. So I'm not gonna complain too much. I'm just gonna hope for, that we stay healthy the whole, entirety of the season. We built up some, some good depth on both sides of the ball, and just hope that depth holds true, and that we can, only have a few scrapes here and there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's because somebody was saying that bye weeks shouldn't really even start until about week 7, like you said, week 8. I do agree with that. I feel like if you got that momentum, in my honest opinion, and then it's like, okay, cut it, y'all get off for a whole week. You know what I mean? Like me, I get fidgety if I have to stay gone too long from something. You know what I mean? So it just, when it comes down to these athletes, I want to know how they kind of take that, especially with it being so early in the season. And then, like you said, you got that back half where you had the majority of your divisional games plus a very important 49ers game that could give it up that somebody might be first or second in the NFC.
If all things go right, fingers crossed. Got my rabbits around here somewhere. We burning sage. We're gonna burn some other green too tonight. So we putting all our good luck charms together, baby.
Yeah, he got that foot. He said he got that foot.
Good, man.
One other interesting little caveat on our schedule. We got the Bears on Thanksgiving, and a lot of times, we go into that game or after that game, we have a little bit of an extended stay, if you will. We have a couple of days off, but we're playing the following Thursday against the Packers. So we're going to kind of have only a week between that game. And then after that game, we play the Bills on the 15th. So we will have a small mini bye, if you will, between, I believe that's week 12 and 13. So we'll get a couple of days off later in the season. I think that is going to be beneficial for us. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, y'all schedule. I mean, your schedule is to me is average. It's like a regular NFL schedule. You got your mixes of your, kind of like a tough stretch, a chill stretch, and a tough stretch. Again, it's not like a lot of other people's. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be honest.
They say we the 11th toughest, and I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna give my well, not mine. They're not mine, but I'm gonna give some love to the Packers. We got Houston. We got the 49ers. We got the Rams. It's kind of tough.
So speaking of the Packers, when you go look at the Packers, they start off the season in Brazil. Okay, then they don't even really get a rest. They got to come back to play the Colts. When you really kind of think about it, because again, you play that game on a Friday. You fly back out, time zone, depending on what I ain't gonna say they fly out on Friday, because they probably fly out sooner than that. So now you're in that time zone, jet lag, all of that. Now you got to come back and play the Colts, and then you got the Titans and Vikings right after that.
And the Rams. And
then the Rams. Then the Rams, and they get a week 10 bye, and then when you look after that bye week, they go to the Bears, the 49ers, the Dolphins, then y'all, then the Seahawks, then the Saints, Vikings, and they ended off with the Bears.
Yeah.
Y'all kind of got a break there compared to them, to be honest with you. Y'all kind of got a break.
I don't know. We're gonna see.
Like I know that's your rival. I mean, the
We
Vikings,
packing up the Packers. No, I don't care what they doing. We packing them up.
Yeah,
I've been complimentary. I've been
right.
congratulatory. I've been encouraging this whole off season to everybody else, but it is not officially on. All that stuff is over with. Y'all trash.
I mean, the Vikings got a little tough one there too. They go to the Giants, 49ers, Texans, Packers, then they go to England.
Vikings gonna be interesting basing off of how the leash will be with McCarthy, how much they want to let him sit.
Yeah. Gotta watch the North. Man. The North gonna be tough, man. The North gonna be tough.
Yeah.
DT, how you feel about y'all little school? How y'all, you know what I'm saying?
I was about to comment. I was about to comment on our schedule. So first thing I initially saw this schedule, the first thing I said was Heisman. The Commanders will be playing 8 Heisman Trophy winners.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about from week 1, week 3, week 4, week 5, which has 2 Heisman Trophy winners. You have Carolina Panthers, and you have Caleb Williams.
Who won a Heisman in Cleveland? Did Deshaun Watson won a Heisman?
No, I didn't say Cleveland.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
And the last one would be Devontae Smith from Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I call this the Heisman season. A lot of quarterbacks that are in that prestige thing right here. And the one thing I initially see with the schedule, obviously, you have Tampa Bay with Todd Bowles and his defense. You got New York at home. Then you have a primetime game with Cincinnati, obviously with LSU quarterbacks. It's definitely a taunting task the first couple of weeks. And then you have Arizona. But the one thing I do think will be a benefit was is they're saying we have the least amount of travel time between all the teams, so we're not going to travel as far. But still, again, for some particular reason, for the third straight year, we have a December bye that's average around week 13 or 14. But I think they give us a little bit of help with this Philadelphia game that's on Thursday, because after that, you get a 10-day rest, and then you get to play Dallas on the 24th.
Yeah, because y'all kind of got a little brutal in that November, because it's like the 3rd, the 10th, and the 14th.
From the Pittsburgh game, Philly, and then Dallas, that is, to me, that's the toughest stretch.
I told Caleb that last night. I said, y'all kind of got a little, y'all don't get that much rest between the 3rd, the 10th, and the 14th, and then you got 2 divisional games in there. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but it's definitely though there are some opponents up here, I still feel with the coaching that has been I've seen so far, I think this team they should be better than last year. If we're talking about maybe 14 wins, then I'm gonna have to slow down on that. We'll see how they progress through training camp, through the season. Then we also got to take account into injuries. Some teams could be having some injuries that might help affect them during the season and possibly heading into the season. So it's definitely it's not a bad schedule, but it's definitely going to be a first type of impression for this team. I like what I've seen from the schedule so far, and obviously the highlight games to me is Cincinnati, Baltimore, and then playing Chicago outside my division games.
Yeah, that looks like I got the AFC North, and when is that the NFC? Yeah, the AFC North, and who else? What other division?
NFC South.
NFC South. You know, they was generous to us last year. So you know, said DT, y'all might be able to do something. I see some very generous things. Carolina, New Orleans, Tennessee, Chicago's going to be interesting. Arizona's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's some very, very the Giants, your divisional your foes. I think that you guys are. I don't want to say bunched together, but I do think that Philadelphia is kind of. They're still solid. I think Dallas has kind of come back to the pack a little bit. And like you said, you guys have done a lot of work in the offseason to improve your roster. And then the Giants, they were talking real big. I was in a space yesterday. They were talking about, their defense. And I do like their front seven a lot. But I still got question marks about what Danny Dimes is going to do. I know they got Malik Neighbors over there, but can he be effective, man, with that quarterback?
He ain't happy.
Danny Dimes or Drew Lock?
Whoever. They're gonna be praying. They're gonna be praying and putting ointment, putting holy water on for whoever's behind the center, because both of them need some help. I'm saying, but yeah, hey man, I'm happy for you guys, man. Y'all might be able to take that nice little, that large step, that progression, that next step progression, man, and we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. I can't wait. What we got? 4 more months.
Yeah. 4 more months. So
the spaces, rivalries are already beginning. Bets are already being made. I'm like, listen, man. Let's get to camp. Let's see who's gonna make it out of camp. Who's gonna be on the team? Who's gonna, not gonna sprain their ankle. Let's wait a little bit now, man.
Yeah, definitely. So outside of our teams, what are some key matchups from other schedules you have seen that you're going to be like, yeah, I'm definitely marking down. I cannot wait for this game.
I mean, there's a lot of them. The team that I'm really going to be kind of focused and zone in on, because if these strength of schedules is true, and even kind of just looking at the strength of schedules now and just looking at the schedule, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be looking at the Cleveland Browns. I'm gonna look at them. Not gonna lie, that whole division is gonna beat
not
up
the parlor
on
boys.
Hey, they finna beat up on each other up there. I'm not even gonna, that's gonna be what I'm watching, because they are going to really beat up on each other up there. I mean, looking at their schedule, again, we already know you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals. They get a week 10 bye. My concern is how healthy is Deshaun Watson gonna be this season.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned about Joe Burrow. They talked about his wrist and how it may not be 100% healed, and it may not never be right. So I'm concerned a little bit about Cincinnati and what Joe Burrow is going to do up there in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. But to your point, man, the games, I'm always looking forward to the Kansas City and the Baltimore game. I'm always looking forward to the Buffalo and Kansas City games. I'm going to have my eye on the Jets, man, because I really feel like they did a lot of things this offseason to improve themselves. And a lot of it is going to depend on if A-Rod can stay healthy. So this first game, New York versus the 49ers on Monday night, I'm going to be looking at that. But, I mean, it's just excited. Houston, with whoever they're playing, Houston and Detroit, I think Houston has a game with Kansas City as well. So I'm definitely watching, you know what I'm saying?
They got Houston got a game with Kansas City, Baltimore. I think they have another game with Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they got it right close on Christmas. So yeah. Houston is playing some good teams. I wish I was there in Texas to kind of watch the battle of I-45.
Yeah.
That always brings out, because it has always been for years a Dallas versus Houston thing anyway. So yeah, I like that little tradition that they have. I'm glad it's on Monday night, because that all eyes on them, because that is a very good rivalry when they get together. They just don't see each other like that, but when they do get together, it's really a battle of the state. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. So. But yeah, I want to see Houston. I want to see what CJ Stroud do in year 2. I really do. I want to see what this defense is looking like with the additions. They got Daniil over there. They added some running backs, and they had a pretty good draft too. I will give them that as well.
They did.
So
I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them in the South, in that AFC South.
So I'm going to the South, but I'm not going with the Texans. I'm going with the Colts. I'm very interested to see how the AR can do healthy. I love the addition of AD Mitchell to go with Josh Down. Tight ends are very deep. Jonathan Taylor is still in that backfield. You got Trey Sermon and them. That offensive line is Road Raiders. I love the addition of Latu to add to that defense. Just look at the matchups they have. They play Houston first, so you get AR-15 versus CJ Stroud. Then the next week you get AR-15 versus Jordan Love, and then Caleb Williams. They got a lot of top tier quarterbacks they're going to be playing, and it's going to be very fun to see how that offense for the Colts develop and get better as AR gets better.
Yeah. I agree with that. Again, Mike said it earlier. Besides the AFC North, that South is going to be something you want to look in on too, because they made moves to in a sense keep up with CJ Stroud, but to help improve them. So again, the only one that I will say that I'm a little bit concerned with is really going to be the Jaguars. I really want to know what Trevor Lawrence really is. That's just me. I want the Jaguars to succeed because we have seen them succeeding for years now, but I just right now that is my concern is with the Jaguars. I like the improvement of the Titans, of the Colts, of the Texans. Jaguars did improve as well, but I just don't know if that's going to be enough with how the other three teams are in this sense, to be honest.
Jaguars' schedule is tough now. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Miami, Cleveland, Buffalo, Houston, Colts, Chicago, New England. Okay, that's probably
they got 2 back-to-back games in England too.
Then you have Green Bay, Philly, Minnesota, Detroit, then the bye week versus Houston again, Tennessee, the Jets, Raiders, Tennessee. Then you end off with the Colts. Whew.
What year is this for Doug Peterson?
This is year 3, is it?
Yeah, year 3.
Yeah.
If they're
starting to heat up there. He need to get to the playoffs this year. He need to make the playoffs this year. Or it might be a little bit of an issue there.
Well, you're gonna have to ask yourself the question: is it Doug or is it Trevor?
I don't know, but it's kind of like, he when he took the job, he knew Trevor was there, so they kind of slightly joined at the hip, if you will. I believe the player could possibly last longer than the coach. A lot of times you see a player, he may get coached up by a couple people, and then they decide, well, okay, this coach couldn't turn him around, this other coach couldn't turn him around, so maybe it is the player. But I don't know. We had an interesting conversation yesterday in the space talking about some of these next quarterbacks who got deals. My boy Goff got paid, baby. You know what I'm saying? Got his money. But these next group of guys, Dak, Trevor, Tua, Love, did Goff's deal somewhat put some type of cap on them, or will they be able to exceed his deal if they do it, this year, next year, possibly? It's most likely going to be exceeded. But those guys want to get done, So it's going to be interesting to see how their teams treat them, how their teams view them, and what type of deals they get, or if they get it. Maybe, because I think Trevor still has a 5th-year option, so maybe they say, hey, let's wait and see. What's that now?
They picked the 5th-year option up.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of times they want to get that extension done in the 4th year for the guys that they really love and want to see you out there. They believe in you. So maybe they wait. Or maybe his agent is not, happy with the numbers and say, hey, Goff got 53. We look at his resume. He's older. We can give you the nod for youth, but in terms of production, you ain't been to a Super Bowl. You ain't been to a NFC Championship. You haven't won a handful of playoff games. So why are we paying you 55? So, if you don't like the numbers, maybe you play it out, bet on yourself. But a guy like Jordan Love, they didn't pick up his option, but he did a contract for a 5th year. He's only playing for $13 million this year. So does he get a deal? So it's interesting, man. I'm sorry to get off topic. I'm excited.
I actually had a question for that, because you brought those lists of quarterbacks that are awaiting for their payment. So to ask this little question around, between Dak Prescott, Tua, and Trevor Lawrence, it might be obvious to some, who you think get paid first?
Get paid first? What year is this for Tua?
This is Tua's 5th year? year?
No. I think he won it to his 5th.
Yeah.
I think Tua gets paid first, and here's why. Not because he's the best, not because he's the most established, but because it is probably for the best for him. I think his agent would say, you know what, with your health situation, let's go and get a deal and secure your future. Let's get these guaranteed dollars and secure your future. We may have to take a little bit of a discount. Maybe we build it into roster bonuses. Maybe we build it into incentive-laden pay. But let's go ahead and lock you down for the next 4 or 5 years, because you get out here and get concussed, or God forbid some other injury happen to you, then they may be done with you. So more so, I think he gets paid out of necessity, and I think he's a guy that you look at his production, he may not get, or he may be in the he may be in that golf category or in that Kirk Cousins category in terms of what he's done. You know what I'm saying? But again, though, someone pointed out.
So where do we see the Dolphins going then?
After Tua,
they lost a lot, and I don't really think that they added too much to that team.
Are the Bills still the best team in the East?
No.
Don't ask Woodham. Don't ask Woodham.
I'm just saying though, because
listen, man, I think it's a legit question. I think that's why we got to play the game. I like, they still got
probably still might
base
take
of talent.
Buffalo, man. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all.
You say what now?
I might still take Buffalo. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I might still take them too, but I think it's very much competitive. Like I said, I think they've fallen back to the back. I don't think it's definitive. Like, the Bills gonna win. Like, no, let's see what happens. And I think that the Jets can possibly catch them. I look at the Jets. I say, listen, they have the best defense in that division. They probably have. O-line
has improved.
The O-line has improved. I think they probably have the best running back in that division. Not the best wide receiver, but maybe the third best in Garrett Wilson. So to me, and A-Rod, I think if he's healthy, we've seen him play at a high level, a top 5 level. So let's see how it works out.
We'll swing that to this conversation again.
We got months.
Yeah, but we gotta see. So what? Let's see here. So what division do you think is like basically? I want to say like as a whole. What division do you think from either the NFC or AFC that took a step back?
That's a good question.
Took a step back.
Like based kind of like looking at their schedules and different things like that. What division do you think?
The whole division.
The whole division.
I'm going to throw 2 out there, and I don't know which one. I'm gonna go with the AFC East, and I'm gonna go with the NFC East. I go with the AFC East because, like we just talked about, Miami and Buffalo, who were both playoff teams last year, right? Both had difficult off seasons, especially Miami. So I think that again, I think the Jets have kind of closed the gap on those teams. When I look at the East, Philadelphia looks good on paper. Howie Roseman builds a great roster, but they're still, for the second year in a row, going to have 2 new coordinators, more experienced guys than they had last year, more established guys than they had last year. But we still haven't gotten down to the bottom of what happened to them the second half of the year, and possibly could be something that has nothing to do with personnel. Nothing to do with X's and O's. Maybe something that went on in that locker room. And then you look at Dallas. They took so many hits personnel-wise and coaching-wise. So to me, they kind of fell back. You saw what Washington did in the offseason. I think they stepped up. And then the Giants, to me, I mean, Brian Burns was a big acquisition. But besides that, nothing really stands out for me. And then they still have Danny Dimes or, Drew Lock as the quarterback. So to me, I throw those 2 divisions out there. Not to say they trash, not to say that they bad, but I just think that the top guys kind of fell back to the pack a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. DT?
I think DT might be froze unless.
No, I'm
unless,
if it did.
Okay, we can hear you. We can hear you.
You can hear me, but it's free. Yeah. I would keep the NFC East only because I do agree with the fact because there's so many changes within the coaching staffs, new philosophies. The guy learned. Dallas took a step back with losing Dan Quinn and a couple of guys. We don't know what's going on with New York. They did get a new defensive coordinator. And then Philadelphia, they got an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. So I'm trying to figure out how a lot of this stuff is going to work. I know Washington, they got new everything, and I'm expected to be better than 4 wins. But I would probably say the AFC West, in my opinion, step back because, okay, I understand Denver did address quarterback by drafting Bo Nix, but a lot of pieces around them, I don't know if they are there right now for Bo Nix to, be where he wants to be. Then the Raiders, I feel like the Raiders missed on the opportunity of, getting a quarterback for this team. They're going with Minshew and Aiden O'Connell again. And then with the Chargers, yes, Harbaugh, I think coaching will be better, but with the amount of financial money they had tied up to a lot of players, they had to ship those guys around. And I'm kind of curious how they'll look. They're going to more of a physical approach than finesse of what they have. But I'm still curious around the offensive skill-wise talent around Justin Herbert and seeing how the defense is going to be.
Yeah. Okay. The Raiders actually do have a tough little schedule there, so that's going to be tough, especially if they don't have have a quarterback in place. So I will agree with that. I honestly will. I will honestly agree with that. I do agree with the NFC East. With that, because again, Dallas didn't really pick up a lot in the off season. I don't even really think that they're going to pick up anything in the off season. Then you got to get reacclimated with a new coach over there on defense. I know Mike had mentioned Stephon Diggs versus his brother. I really want to know how his recovery is going, because that's going to be a spot for them on this team with him coming back. Then the Giants, to me, is just the Giants. You lose Saquon Barkley. Yes, you did bring in another running back that is good too. Your offensive line kind of got just a little bit better, but again, I had asked a Giants fan the other day, and I said, is that just Malik Neighbors' demeanor, or is he really not happy with being a Giant? Like, really not happy with the situation, especially at the quarterback situation for him. So you still got question marks up there. Can Daniel Jones be the Daniel Jones we probably saw beforehand that took the team to the playoffs, or are they going to sink and not swim? So you have that. Washington and me, it's in my honest opinion, it's not me being biased. I feel like they the one that actually went in and said, we need to build. We got to get better. So yeah, I feel like the East really did take a step back. I'm gonna go with you, Henry, because that AFC East over there, because of the way the Bills are looking, way Miami's looking. I know Jay Nick said it with the schedule that they got, he doesn't expect to win too much. So I mean, that kind of leaves it up to the Jets. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, the Jets could possibly run away with it, but I can see DT's opinion about the West. The only one over there on the West really is KC. When you look at everybody else, I mean, if the Raiders could have possibly got a quarterback, I do like their defense. I do like some of their offensive pieces, and I mean, they got my boy Brock, but I do feel like they could have probably took a step forward. I don't think the Chargers really did anything to impress me. Shout out to Ladd, though, but I don't really think they did anything to impress me too much. And then Denver, I don't trust Sean Payton. I don't really think Sean Payton is a good coaching fit for that team, in just all honesty. So that's just my opinion.
That's a great point. I want to see what he does out there, because I feel like the game is maybe passed him by. But we'll see. We'll see. He's probably forgotten more football than I ever know. So I'm not, saying not dissing him, but I just don't really see that, that I didn't see any signs of brilliance last year. They ended somewhat strong, but to me, I think they could have been better with the talent that they had. So we'll see. Maybe those guys weren't his type of guys. And he has to get his guys in there who are a fit for his system. We'll see how it goes. But I just feel like every other team was stagnant. They drafted fairly well, but nobody really did very much. And a team like the Chargers, maybe they didn't feel like they had to do very much because the talent on paper seems to be there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I just felt like, to your point, it's KC and everybody else in that division right now.
Yeah, I mean, and with the Chargers though, when you say look good on paper, yeah, they do. I will give them that. They do. It's just that what I expect from Harbaugh is just I expect him to kind of not go in there and flipping tables, but going in there really understanding where you guys are and where you guys needed like the help. Because again, I need Herbert to stay healthy. That's one. I need him to stay healthy. Literally, you really ain't got no weapons and wide receivers for this man to really throw to. That's why I said shout out to Lat McConkey going there. But it's like I expected a little bit more from them, knowing that Harbaugh, especially with Harbaugh understanding exactly, NFL understanding and been there and done that and really built up that 49ers team back then with Alex Smith. So again, I was expecting, I guess my expectations were very high for them to really go over there and literally build with that. Sorry, not 49 fans. Sorry, Raider fans. The Falcons didn't mean to mess everything up. Our bad. Hope Minshew does good for you and keep my boy Brock healthy. That's all.
I will say this for the wide receivers though, for the Chargers. By releasing that large sum of funds, they had at least $38.8 million tied to a Keenan Allen and a Mike Williams. They're now down to 12.5. So that gives them maneuver for next year to get a couple younger guys in 2025, or even try to sign a free agent next year. So I definitely see the plan, but you still kind of. Justin Herbert, he's one of those guys that's like top 10, top 12. I mean, wherever you rank him, he's one of those talented quarterbacks, and you want to have some help for him in this new style of offense. There's going to be more emphasis on running the football, controlling the clock.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I mean, who's going to run the ball? Austin Eckler's no longer there. I don't know who they picked up in the draft. That's been kind of, running back by the committee the last couple of years. I'm sorry, behind Austin Eckler, been kind of a committee with Joshua Kelly and Kalen Ballage. I just don't know, who's going to run the rock. If you look at what Harbaugh did at Michigan, you know what I mean? He had a great defense. I don't know if, just kind of projecting on to what the Chargers have been in the past. Yeah, they got some great players over there, but they haven't been traditionally a stout defense, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then you look at, again, the running game. Offensive line is, I think, solid. Definitely got better with the Joe Alt pick. You got Sean Slater there. But again, who they're throwing to. And I got a lot of faith in Joshua Palmer. I think he's a sleeper. Fantasy note.
They do have Dobbins. Dobbins did sign with them.
That's right. I forgot. They have Dobbins and he went back to Baltimore. They got Dobbins and Gus Edwards. That's right. Again, I don't know if I trust them though, but it's going to be interesting to see what their style of play is. I think he also got the old offensive coordinator from Baltimore, who was kind of stagnant with Lamar. And again, Herbert to me seems to be a totally different quarterback than Lamar. So, can this offensive coordinator put together a strategy, if you will, that fits Herbert's style of play? But maybe the goal is to protect Herbert from himself. You know what I mean? Be more of a team, hopefully be better on defense, and win some football games. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be an interesting season for a lot of teams with that, to be honest with you. Like I said, the schedule is going to show. And again, like I said at the beginning of the show, we are in for a very interesting and fun season. I can literally – last year felt weird. Like, I don't know why. It just felt weird. But this year, I feel like it's going to be –
Was it because of Desmond Ritter? Was it because of Ritter?
Yeah, it was weird.
I'm not laughing at you, lady. I'm laughing at you. Listen, he laughing real hard for a team that was drafting in front of you, though. He laughing real hard. He laughing real hard. I'm just saying. But that was a good one. The timing was amazing, DT. I like that.
Yeah, but it was very weird. Yep, that was. But he's with the Cardinals now, so
Gerald Everett is with the Bears too.
He should have went to the Raiders.
Oh damn, man! Listen, Chicago. Listen, now we talking about them. Going back to your point, Lady E, about Chicago, I think that their schedule definitely is tough on the backside, but I think the way that it's set up, I'm trying to bring it up real quick. It gives Chicago a chance to really, really, really get off to a very, very good start and get their feet under them. When you look at their schedule, they open up against Tennessee. Houston is a tough game. Indianapolis is going to be a tough game. The Rams definitely going to be a tough game. But after that, Carolina, Jacksonville, Washington, Arizona, New England, they got a little stretch where they could possibly get their feet under them and kind of get it going. I don't believe they play a divisional game until week 11. So,
and then it's kind of like back to back from there. Like they club.
It's gonna get tough after that. It's gonna get tough after that. They got a chance to put some wins under their belt. It's gonna be interesting to see how they navigate those first couple of games. Tennessee, Indianapolis, those are gonna be key games because those are games I think that those are kind of like 50-50 games. I might give Indianapolis a little bit of an edge over them, but it can be 50-50. So their schedule is set up for them to have some success and kind of get some momentum, and then in the back end, kind of see if they can run with the big dogs. You know what I mean? So,
Mike, that wasn't their guy. They wasn't finna build around Fields. That wasn't their guy.
Real quick. What do you got after looking at the schedules? What team jumps out to you guys as possibly a sleeper?
Possibly.
Give me a second. Let's see here. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look real quick.
I got a team in mind. I haven't seen their schedule in totality, but I'm a little bit skeptical of them. And you brought them up, DT, and they're our first opponent, the Rams. A team that we beat.
Oh, okay.
We was gonna say the Rams.
Yeah, they sneakily solid offseason. They signed our guy Jonah Jackson on that offensive line. I know they lost Donald. Huh?
I think you're taking my words sneakily, secretly, taking all of that.
I'm sorry. But yeah, a sneaky good offseason, man. Had a good draft. They went down and double dipped in Florida State with Verse and Fisk, and then they got Blake Quorum. Shout out to Michigan, so he's going to help that running game. Sean McVay's the coach. Puka and Cooper Kupp are healthy. Stafford's healthy. Man, they got a schedule's kind of, Detroit, Arizona, San Francisco, Green Bay. And then they hit a Las Vegas, Minnesota, Seattle little stretch. They can kind of put something together. Miami.
They're tied at the 12th toughest schedule, but I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't really see anything. I'm trying to see if they have a stretch because to me, I feel like the NFL kind of said, okay, y'all, we're gonna make it. Some of y'all play 3 or 4 games within a short amount of time span. Get ready, They have a Buffalo December week 14. They have a Buffalo, San Fran week 15, New York Jets week 16. But yeah, I mean, Well, here go my question. Here go my question when it comes down to the Bills, because I guess I've been seeing a lot of
Hey, listen, folks. Yeah, hey, listen. She already started. She just started in May. She trying to put some dirt on them Bills already. It ain't me.
No, okay. Because here's my question. So when it comes down to them, okay, they got Josh Allen. Who is the receivers? I'm concerned with the receivers, and then you're playing these teams late, like you're playing a team like a Ram, like you said, that could be sneaky. They could be real sneaky. They've done some sneaky little stuff. They can creep up on you if you sleep on them. So I'm not saying that the Bills is just going to be downright trash, but my thing is week 14, December, what Bills are we really going to see?
I don't know. We got to see him in the off season. We got to see him in the season. To your point, I'm listening. I'm in random spaces, just listening, talking a little bit, but just listening. And they telling me Khalil Shakur is supposed to be that deal. They got a lot of expectation for Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel was supposed to be that guy. I mean, they're expecting little. I'm not gonna say to no, but they're expecting minimal drop off, and they believe in Josh Allen's ability, man, as their commander in chief, if you will. So I mean,
hey, he's good. He's good. He's not
I
great.
mean, he's good, but have we seen him without Diggs? I'm sorry, DT. What you say?
Do you think he can elevate that room? Because we know when Stephon Diggs got there, Diggs elevated him.
That's my concern.
That's the question. Who made who?
You working?
You know what I'm saying? You made you made Hove. Go make another Hove. You know what I'm saying? That's what we gonna find out.
But we also see games where Diggs is not getting targeted at all, and we see Allen go off.
Well, that's when Allen turns into a running back.
Yeah, but is he going off?
I mean, that
is he going off
game that
because of
everybody
some of the coverage that's being dictated by having the Diggs on the field?
Ooh, this Bills thing gonna be
it's a lot of moving parts here. We're gonna find out.
But
Hey, look. The Bills is gonna be a touchy subject on this podcast.
It's
not for me, dog. I don't want no problems. I want to be able to go to Buffalo, give me some buffalo wings. I don't want no problems, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's right over there by Toronto, just right up the road, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no problems. I want to be able to go to, you know what I'm saying, Duff's and not have no issues with nobody, man.
I'm just saying.
They like Badu, man. They sensitive about their craft, man. Don't give them no problems right now.
Oh boy.
Super Bowls in a row. I mean, shoot, I'm already hurting. I'm getting hit and plummeted with the 28-3. I mean, but nobody ain't saying nothing about that, so I'm just saying.
Come on.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's already hard enough to make the Super Bowl, but you go make it and you lose 4 times in a row. I mean, shoot, my 28-3 don't feel that bad.
You trying to get PTSD started out here, don't?
Look, my 28-3 don't sound that bad no more. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
We ain't never been, so we don't know.
Look, here like I ain't got no dog in this fight.
That loss we took last year was pretty damn tough, so I can imagine.
Boy, man.
Very sobering and downtrodden. You know what I'm saying?
You going over there, you criticizing every little person all the way down to the water boy.
Boy.
Why didn't somebody kick Dan in his ass? And he couldn't he couldn't send the team out the 4th down, and we just went straight to the coach. Why couldn't somebody wrap the cord around his foot and trip him up or something, man? And we just go ahead and send the kicker in there, man, to kick the down field goals, man. Any of that stuff could have happened. It's all of them fault. It's all of them fault.
You should never gave Dan no Gatorade so he couldn't call it, so he could be thirsty parched.
I think that's my man and all, and he do whatever you need to do to get it going, man. But I think he may have took a bump at halftime. That's all I'm gonna say. It's all jokes.
I'm so dead. Lord Jesus. But yeah, we're gonna be in for a real good season. Love it. Can't wait. Next is gonna be the training camp schedules that are gonna drop.
DT, did you guys? Who do you guys think gonna be a sleeper team?
Sleeper team. You said Rams. I'm like I said, man. Watch out for the Colts, man.
Oh yeah, I like the Colts.
I like the Colts. I had to go back and look at their roster construction, and I like what I've seen from some of the games I've seen from AR. If he can just learn how to protect himself at an NFL level with the talent they added at wide receiver, the tight end room, Taylor for a full season in that RPO game, it's going to be deadly, man. It's going to be deadly. I cannot wait to watch the Colts.
All eyes gonna be, well, we all know that all eyes gonna be on the North, but all eyes gonna be on that AFC South. Real for real. It's gonna be on that AFC South, man.
What y'all think Russ and them gonna do over there in Pittsburgh, man? Russ gonna be the starter, or
I give him 5. Hold on, let me pull the schedule back up. I give him 5 games.
Hey, look, I got in an argument with my student today, and I'm sitting here like, oh, look, with all due respect, man. Pittsburgh, the history, winning consistently. But looking at this schedule, I know Russ had a somewhat good year. I don't know, man. Atlanta, Denver, the Chargers, Colts.
Just know that Future's gonna be played all game.
That's petty. That's petty, man. Y'all should be playing. Y'all should be playing Daddy of the Year. Y'all should be playing Stepdaddy of the Year for him, man. Whoever got that track. Y'all talking about some Future.
Now I'm not gonna lie to you because Atlanta petty like that. You see how we treat the Saints? We don't even put their name up on the board. We call them the visitors.
Right.
Boy.
So yeah, I mean, I give it. When is they bye week? They got late bye week, November 3rd. So yeah, I put it to you like this.
I mean, their division is tough. They played Kansas City.
Yeah, look at the schedule.
After that, though, I think they can compete in all the rest of those games.
But how long do you think they're gonna let Russ stay?
I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this though. I do think I know you don't think so highly of Arthur Smith, but I do think he's gonna bring more of a balanced attack there. And I think when you have an offensive line that is steadily improving, they did a great job in the draft this year, getting two very good offensive linemen to improve that room. And you got Najee and the other guy, name escapes me right now, Jalen something, and the running back. You're gonna have good running back. You know what I'm saying? What's that?
Jalen Warren, that's Cuz.
Oh, okay, Jalen Warren, Cud now. You know what I'm saying? And then you
said Cud now.
You know what I'm saying? Cud now. And then you got the wide receivers with Pickens and my boy Roman Wilson. They may be able to put something together, man. I don't think Russ is totally, cooked. But again, though, if he is, and you have playoff, ambitions, you got a guy right there.
It ain't no if. They have to. Well, that's Tomlin's.
But with all due respect, though, bro, Russell is better than Justin right now.
Is he?
He is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're gonna see.
I got the season.
I'm talking about in terms of playing the quarterback position consistently. We have seen it from Russ. Russ has had some ups and downs the past couple of years within that position, but Russell plays the quarterback position by far better than Justin. But you want the highest ceiling, which everybody says.
I mean, what he's done in this league is unquestioned. I'll say that. What he's done in this league is unquestioned. But the last 2 or 3 years has not been up to the standard of what he's consistently done in the league before that. And again, in this offense, with Arthur Smith is probably going to move the pocket a little bit, probably rely on that play action game and the run game a little bit. Justin, I'm not going to say he's better, but I would dare to say I wouldn't mind seeing him. And if Russ falters, I wouldn't mind seeing Justin and see what he got, because we haven't seen him with this caliber of offensive line. We haven't seen him with this type of run game support. Or we saw him 1 year with receivers, and he won 4 more games than he did the year before. So, let's see what he got.
Mike said it. You get Caleb Williams. You give Caleb Williams all these weapons. You give him a line. You give him everything. You didn't give Justin that. So now I agree with you, man. Let's see what Justin can actually do. Was it the coaching staff in Chicago, or is it true what a lot of people say about him? He's just not. He can't read defenses. He's just not teachable. He's just not learning. You know what I mean? Like, let's really see, because sometimes you never know. A lot of times some players go to other teams, and some team people like, oh, well, he wasn't this, and the next thing you know, you see him break out and do things. Well, he didn't do that over here with us. Maybe it was your coaching staff.
I think I did hear Tomlin say that, Russ is going to be the number one guy when the balls roll out, but there will be a competition, though. It will be, a somewhat competitive situation this offseason. So we'll see how it shakes out.
And we will. I mean, it's a little bit interesting up there in the Steelers nation.
Yes, sir. My boy Guru got high thoughts. You know what I'm saying? He high expectations for them boys.
I'm rooting for Justin. I'm definitely rooting, but a lot of times from past and stuff, you got two quarterbacks, you ain't got no quarterback.
That is a valid statement.
It is.
That is a valid statement. You've been real disrespectful the last 3 or 4 statements, DT. With all due respect.
He said you were over here hitting the nasty word.
I know you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, soften the blow with all due respect, but you've been.
We'll see. Look, if Russell falters and they give Justin a chance, it's probably going to be a huge opportunity for Justin to redeem himself, get that Chicago stink off of him, because that's the label everybody has on him.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Chicago stink.
They stink that bad. They stink that bad.
He need to be baptized in the 3 rivers. He needs to be baptized in the 3 rivers.
I'm just saying.
Get that stink up off of him. That's what DT said. That's what he said. You need to be in the Allegheny, whatever the other 2 is, to get that stink off him.
And child, we gonna you always got something for your teams up north though. That's all I'm gonna say. You gonna make sure you sliding them jokes on any one of them 3 teams up there.
What jokes? What you gonna make about up north? What did I say?
I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about Henry.
Oh, okay.
What
No,
team
not
up
you.
north?
I was highly confused.
What team up north?
Exactly. There you go. Taking a shot. You already know what team. The 3 teams up north.
I ain't talking about Minnesota.
What you talking about? I don't. You know.
Ain't talking about Wisconsin.
You sobering me right now. What I say?
No, I said you always find a way to plug in some like little shots and straight with the 3 teams of north.
Man, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You talking about my divisional guys?
Uh-huh.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Listen, on some real stuff, man. I'm not worried. I'm not worried, but I see what they doing, and they problematic. Listen, in the NFC, I'm gonna give y'all a little insight to the, the Fellas Present Sports Rap podcast coming later. We're gonna talk about some of the top teams, and I think that San Fran, Philadelphia, along with ourselves, but I'm throwing Green Bay in that top tier. I'm throwing them in that top tier in the NFC because I like their coaching staff. They have a very, very young team. I like their defense. They got a couple solid pass rushers. Had a solid draft. I would have did 1 or 2 things differently myself, but hey, it's just me. But they're going to be a problem, man. And then Jordan Love is what they think he is in that young receiving room. We don't talk about them a lot. You got Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, Bo Melton, Jaden Reed. Not too many folks have that type of depth and productivity in that wide receiver room. They're going 5 deep, and all those guys are playing and making plays. So you add a Josh Jacobs to that team. We talk about what Chicago did in setting the table for Caleb, and they were a 7-win team last year. So listen, I'm cracking jokes on them or whatever, but I see what they're doing. I got respect, but we'll punch them in the mouth anyway, though. That's
Lord Jesus.
with all due respect. With all due respect. They've been punching us in ours for all these years. I mean, what's shit? What we supposed to do?
I completely understand, and I hear you. Y'all finally getting y'all payback. It's okay.
Yeah.
It is okay.
Woo. Well, look like we're going to have to wrap up this show. We pretty much covered the base of the schedule. A lot of big taunting games this year. We're definitely going to be tuned into all the key matchups, all the shockers, all the upsets, and all the games that will probably be blowouts, but we're still going to talk about it anyway. including teams like the Buffalo Bills. But that's all we got for Enters the Lab podcast. It's your boy DT. We got Lady E. We got the OGC Henry. We'll see you guys next week as we recap and talk a little bit more about the offseason so far with some of the mini camps and OTAs we have with our teams. We'll see you guys next Thursday at 6:30. This is Enters the Lab podcast presented by Red Zone DC Media. Y'all have a great night.